So, hi everyone. I'm Jahanzeb Baldiwala, and I am a co-founder of an organization called Narrative Practices India. And I'm here today to chat with Vaishali about a beautiful book that she's written. It's called The Boy in the Dark Hole, and it speaks about an important topic that a lot of people are speaking about, which is mental health. And I myself work as a therapist, as a teacher trainer of mental health practices. So particularly of an approach called narrative therapy. I'm going to hand it over to Vaishali to introduce herself, and then we'll have a short conversation, which hopefully you'll all listen to.
Thank you, Jay, and I'm so glad that we are here today, to talk about something that is very close to our hearts. The subject of mental health and specifically mental health in children. Hi, everybody. I'm Vaishali Shroff, the author of The Boy in the Dark Hole, which is also now available in Hindi as Andhere Ke Paar. Okay, because we have a huge audience, Hindi reading audience to tap into, and I hope more readers can access the story through the Hindi version. And as Jay mentioned, we are here to discuss a little bit about mental health and how books play a very important role in helping children cope with the various issues that life throws at them. Especially, we've seen in the last couple of years, things have been particularly hard for them as well as adults. But if we find it tough, we can only imagine how children would find it difficult to cope with them. So yes, let's have this wonderful chat here.
So Vaishali, as I was reading the book, I think one of the things that was something that I really wanted to ask you was what you were hoping for, as you were writing this story, and what you thought might become possible from sharing this story.
I had thought about this story many years ago when I read an article on student suicides in an Outlook magazine, and the figures were really alarming, and it kept bothering me for many years till I actually had a friend go through it. And I feel that the story finally came together. And for me, my aim with this book is just to create a shoulder to lean on for children, a friend who they can relate to, and at the end of it realize that we are never alone in this. There are thousands and thousands of other people who are dealing with situations that are similar to theirs, worse than theirs, or probably even unimaginable. But the only comfort or solace that we can take from reading stories like this story of our protagonist SP here is that there is a way, and if we can see that someone else can come out of it, maybe we can at least tell ourselves that maybe I can even try to come out of it. So that's all I wanted. I know I was not going to change the world with this book, but even if the thought that someone somewhere reading this book is reading this book and it's helping them in some way, is I think I couldn't ask for anything more.
Yeah. And you spoke about some really sort of things which really stood out to me. One is that people can relate to characters, and um, how those can also be friends, characters from books. And then you spoke about how also it could be, you use the phrase shoulder to lean on, which I thought was really beautiful. And you spoke about how it could be a story which would also bring this into awareness and conversation. Is there anything or any particular reason why this is important to you, or a story that you'd like to share with people about why this particular character, why this particular book?
I think as I've just like many people out there, I have gone through periods of stress, anxiety, and depression myself. In fact, if I were to be very honest and candid on camera right now, it was just a month ago when somebody was interviewing me, and I broke down. I literally broke down, and we had to cancel it and reshoot it after half an hour, and it was too much. What I cannot explain, but sometimes things are just too much to handle. And I feel that, and coming back to your question, I think this is important for me because I think the subject of mental health should be important for everybody. Everybody must take their mental health, seriously. It's probably not the best example here, but just recently I had gone on a trek with my family, and that trek turned out to be much harder than I thought. And first I was asking myself that, oh God, am I physically fit to, make this arduous climb? It was just so imposing, that whole mountain, and I didn't know if I could make it. But after a while into the trek, I found myself change that question into, am I mentally fit to go through this? And then all I had to do, physically I was almost dead. I couldn't feel my muscles, but I just had to tell myself, okay, just one more rock, few more minutes, just I think I'll be there soon, and that took me through the trek. That saw me through to that peak, and and I feel that if we are mentally fit, I think we are better equipped to handle, adverse situations that life may throw at us. And I think we need to prepare our children sooner than not to deal with situations like this. They are already dealing with things that we could never imagine when we were children. So we can, and they are strong. Children are strong, and we just need to show them some possibilities, that they don't, so that they don't give up on themselves.
Yeah, I love, again, the thing that people are always responding in some way or the other, and that thing about little steps, that's finally what gets us through.
Yes.
And I think it also sort of reminds me of things that I've read in the book, and I was wondering whether you want to share some of those like little steps or a little part of the book that might give people a glimpse into what you were meaning when you're saying some of these things.
Yeah, so just to summarize the story, it's about this 10-year-old boy, Susrut Patel, who's called SP in the book. And if you read the book, you know why he's called SP. And he is looking through a hollow tube in a dark room, and every time he looks through the tube, he sees only darkness. And every time he sees he's into that darkness, it reminds him of all the sad times in his life, things that made him upset and things that have made him angry or worried or anxious, and he's falling so deeply into it. But he, at the same time, he's aware that he needs to come out of it, and he is trying to look for help, but he can't find any. But ultimately he does find help in his friends, or rather his friends find find a very different version of him, that okay, it was his friends who identified that he's not the SP we know. There's something wrong with him, and maybe we can help him. And there is his friend Kuhu, who turns that dark tube into a kaleidoscope, and we all know how beautiful and vibrant a kaleidoscope can be. And this is what he felt after his life, who turned his life around. So I'm just going to read a little bit. This is after he looks into the kaleidoscope, where he has created his own patterns, which has birds and other things. So he looks into it. First of all, it wasn't dark anymore. It was the opposite of dark. My stars shined. My birds looked like they were flapping their wings and flying as I constantly turned the tube around. The rainbow added to the outburst of colors. It reminded me of the rainbow my dad and I had chased in my dream. My pot of gold must be somewhere around, I thought. I took the kaleidoscope off my eyes and I looked at Kuhu. Then I looked through it again. I couldn't get enough of it. I saw Kuhu and Lobo through those patterns, and I realized that they were always there for me. I felt like I had tamed the monster that was chasing me. I fought the dragon like a knight and rode across the ocean on the killer whale's back. Yes, I had become all those things I wanted to be, all with some help from my friends. I wish I had taken the help earlier. Maybe you don't become a hero only by helping others. I think you are a hero if you seek help too. because it takes courage to tell people that you're not fine, that you're not okay. And I think this is pretty self-explanatory about how this book, as actually the tagline of the book is that, or the dedication reads, to all the heroes who help, and to all the heroes who seek help, you are brave. Because we all give children, we show them these hero movies and superhero movies where people are always conquering the world and killing, doing away with all
Rescuing
the
others.
evil,
Yeah.
and making the world a better place to live in. But and that is where children feel that maybe I'm not that hero, I'm not strong
Yeah.
enough to do this, uh,
Mm.
and that's where we want to tell children that, if you ask for help, you're not being weak. If
Mm.
whether it's your parents, whether it's your friend, whether it's your teacher, or anybody who you're close to, if you feel it's necessary to reach out and and help yourself, you're the hero here, because it really takes a lot of courage to tell people that you're not okay.
Things are not okay. Yeah.
It does.
Absolutely. I think I also sort of what stood out to me and I really like, and something that we do a lot in our work and really think about, is how problems are not inside of people. That they're sort of external. The person is not the problem.
Correct.
The problem exists because of a context within which we live, or norms within which we live, or expectations within which we live, or situations which are around us, which are which make it hard for us
Yeah.
and marginalize our experience. And I love how the depression and the anxiety visits SP, but SP is something else than those things, and
I
that
think
he has his circle.
it's a great way to look at ourselves very objectively,
Mm.
because
Yeah.
we are all a version of us, whenever
Yeah.
we are with people, if we are happy and celebrating, or we are sad, or we are angry about something, we are all a version of us, we are not us. And I think if we look at our stressed and depressed part of us objectively and say that, okay, this part of me needs healing, like just
Mm.
like we have physical bruises and wounds, and they
Yeah.
may vary in extents, and they may need different kind of healing.
Mhm.
Similarly, we all have, all our mental wounds need healing, and if we look at them as something that can be treated, with
Yeah.
help, without help, I think it's a
Yeah.
great way to cope. And you have over 20 years of experience in this, and hats off to you for bringing about doing such wonderful work. And I'd like to ask you, that how do you feel that the children that you work with are close to what our protagonist, Susrut Patel, is? And how do you feel books like The Boy in the Dark Hole, would help children to cope with
Sure.
their issues? What kind of a role do you think they would play?
So I think I love to use sort of books in my practice also with young people, and this kind of a book would be really one is it's a beautiful conversation starter for people, because like you said, it's hard to talk about things which are hard, and when there is a character in a book who's experiencing something, because oftentimes you don't see it around you, even though there may be more people experiencing it. It's not always visible. People take great efforts to not talk about it.
Right.
So, when there's a character like this, it becomes that shoulder to lean on, or that friend, or, the thing of that sense of resonance or relating, that someone like me exists somewhere out there. I think the context of the book being set in our country, makes it so much more relatable for the children around us. I think because, you can literally, like, all of us have been to that school, or, know characters, or have those friends who troubled us in the brass, and the friends who rescued us from difficult situations. So
Right.
and the aunt whose house you go to eat something, and so all of those things, I think, made it very real, and it would be a really beautiful thing. But I think also I loved the metaphor of the kaleidoscope.
Yeah.
The fact that we're in this state of becoming, no, and patterns can keep changing, and every time you look, you might discover something more which is possible. and something new which is possible. So I think that was lovely, and could be a great, again, conversation around um, how people are responding and managing, and how much more they can keep doing, and how much they're already doing. And then the fact that, the reaching out and the friends, I
Right.
think it's a beautiful description of friendship, and of how help can come from the most unexpected spaces also.
Yeah.
It can be a pet, it can be a character in the book, it can be, a spiritual relationship that you have with a being, it can be your parents, neighbor, a friend, a teacher. But that sort of thing of being able to accept the help also when it comes. So I think all of those things, I think it was, it's a
I
really
think you
beautiful book.
put it
And
so beautifully, the whole thing. And and when I was writing the book, I knew that I was not an expert like you. I'm not um, a mental health expert in any way, and
yeah,
I cannot offer solutions.
mhm.
And so if anybody,
Neither can I.
yeah, and I told myself, I said, I don't think there is one particular solution. There is no medicine. It's not allopathy that okay, this works for a headache or anything like that.
Formula, right? That if
There
you
is
do
no
these
formula,
five things, that
exactly. There is no formula to solve mental health problems. But
yeah,
I can. All I wanted to show is there is a possibility to come out of it, and I think that is what should keep children going. At least it should give them that impetus that no, I think I should look for a way. I should
yeah,
get help. I think I don't want to stay in this state of mind anymore. I want to come
yeah,
out of it. I want to go from my dark place to my happy place, and
yeah.
I need to find a way.
And
And
that it takes little things, and
yeah,
little steps that get you there. I think
it
that
takes effort, it takes time, and it takes a lot of people actually to do this,
absolutely.
but it's not
But it
impossible.
happens.
It
Yeah,
happens. It happens. And
lovely.
glad. I'm
Thank you so much.
thank you. This was so lovely, and
Yes.
I think so. I mean, just by talking to you, I'm feeling so much better. And
Yeah,
I hope uh, people who are watching this or who
yeah,
will watch this will benefit uh,
yeah.
this.
And
And
I hope folks will read the book and read it
yes,
to their children more
yes,
importantly. So
please do
yeah,
uh,
it's a beautiful
and
book.
read and share The Boy in the Dark Hole, Andheri Ke Paar,
And the
because
fact that it's in Hindi, I think I love that too.
yeah,
I
I
would say.
I was so
Yeah,
happy when Eklavya, the publisher, who decided to get it out in Hindi, and I was like, wow, you've just uh,
yeah,
multiplied the number of readers, because that is the sole
absolutely.
aim, that the story reach out to as many children as possible. And I would encourage and urge people to read this book or any other book. There are many other books also out there on this subject, um, but but they are important, just like other books are.
Absolutely.
So thank you, Jay. It was wonderful chatting with you.
Thank
Thank
you,
you
Vaishali.
everyone watching for your time. uh, I hope and I'm sure it was worth it. Thank you.
Thank you.